Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Juggernaut Hottakes. I am host Mark Brunello, co-host.
Shane Stangalady.
This week we're going to be talking a lot about the All-Star break for the NBA, along with the Super Bowl, our predictions, and our outlooks of last game, what happened. So let's get into it. So, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
Honestly, I have the Chiefs. As much as I like Jalen Hurts, he set a record in the AFC Championship, scoring his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. That's really good and all, but I think that Mahomes, he's had the experience again. I'm probably going to stick with him like I did last week.
Although I thought the Chiefs would lose last week, they won. I also have them winning. But I think it comes down to just explosiveness on offense. Just who can be more explosive, who can get those quick, short, just long plays, you know what I mean? Long plays in short times. And I feel like it's going to come down to that. I have the Chiefs winning. I feel like the final score 28-24. I feel like it's going to be a medium high scoring game. I can definitely see it going above that. I feel like it's just what offense pulls through. Both defenses are pretty evenly matched. It's just whose offense will be able to handle it more.
I think the score, this might be a bit outrageous, but I'm thinking like 42-39.
Okay. Maybe 42-38 because it could be 35 field goal. But that's a bit high.
Yeah,
as a prediction, but I can see it.
The thing is, the Chiefs' defense isn't great. The Eagles' defense is good, but I just think Mahomes, again, with the experience he's had in the Super Bowl, and some people in the Eagles, they've had experience in the Super Bowl, but the QB, again, like last week, big driving force of what can make or break a team.
Yeah, and Mahomes is experienced, Hurts isn't, but also an underlying factor, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Because Kelsey's been their guy. He's got to be productive. He always has been, but we got to see how they just respond to him.
And then something else for the Chiefs that's been going their way. Last week, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I can't even pronounce his name.
Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah. He's gotten involved a little bit more, and if Mahomes has another option he can rely on like that, maybe Kadarius Toney steps up a little bit. They don't just have to try and get it to Kelsey and have him do big things, which he's definitely capable of. But having those other two options would definitely help out.
Yeah, but Kelsey can also open up those options too, because however they try to cover him, they usually need to use more than one man that can open up those second, third options for Mahomes to go to, which he's so reliable with.
Yeah, and what is your opinions about Jason Kelsey on the Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean, he's great. He's a good lineman. He gets the job done. Was he all pro this year? He's been all pro in the past.
I have no idea.
That was out of left field. That question was out of left field. He's been a good lineman. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
He's reliable.
All right, so this goes on to our first hot take, where I think if the Kelsey's mom were to do the coin toss.
Dude, where are you going with this?
I think that Jason Kelsey would probably, or the Philadelphia Eagles would win the coin toss.
It's just not a coin toss. That's not a hot take. 50-50 shot. I think one team could win. Okay. Anyways, we are very professional at this. So let's get into All-Star snubs. Who do you think should have been starting? Obviously, well, not obviously, but you said you think Kyrie shouldn't have started. Can you explain on that?
Yeah, I think Kyrie, as good as he's been this year, putting up 27 points a game, he's been putting up 5 assists, so his playmaking has been bad. It's just that when you compare it to someone like Tyrese Halliburton, the sheer value, especially since Halliburton has been leading the league in assists, he's putting up 20 and 10. When the Pacers lose Halliburton, you can see how much value he's had for them. And then, on the other hand, you see with the Nets without Kyrie, they've actually, they've thrived.
Yeah, adding on to that, Cam Thomas last night, I don't know how many people know of him, but with Kyrie and KD out, he stepped up, putting up 44, 6 and 5 on 16 for 23 shooting. just shows that without Kyrie, obviously Kyrie has a big impact on the Nets, but without him, players can step up, give that opportunity. I don't know about that when Halliburton is not there.
And granted, this is also without KD too.
True. Well, also, I would also have Brown over Kyrie too.
Yeah.
I know it's two guard, not point guard or shooting guard, but if they need to adjust the lineup like that, they could have Mitchell run point in the All-Star game. So I have both those guys over Kyrie. I think Kyrie should have been an All-Star. Just I think his starter's a bit too much.
Especially when you take in again the value with the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown is super valuable. Jason Tatum is super valuable. You can see the impact of what happens when one of them sit out. Even with the depth that they have with like Malcolm Brogdon off their bench, it kind of just throws off their rhythm, and it shows how important Brown is along with those stats.
Because the Celtics, without Brown, they still have a lot of depth, but their bench just can't thrive without him. Because Brogdon would probably start, or White would start, and their bench just wouldn't be the same. White starts anyways, but he would have to fill in more of that role. So
they'd lose a lot of that firepower.
Yeah.
Which is a given when anyone's injured, but with the Celtics especially, with how much depth that they have in the system they play.
You also, I don't agree with this one. This one's also a hot take. You have Devin Booker over Ja.
Yeah. Wait.
You did, didn't you?
No.
I thought you did.
No.
My bad.
No, you're good. But it is something that can be debated. I have Ja over Devin Booker though.
So do I. I thought you had Devin Booker over Ja.
No, that might have been miscommunication. That's my bad.
Well, you could make an argument for both. Booker's averaging 27, 4, and 6, while Ja's averaging 27, 6, and 8. Booker's been more efficient. However, I think the case is, I just think Booker hasn't played enough games. He's played 29 on the season. Ja's has played 44. Ja's been there. He's been reliable for his team. Yeah. Booker's missed around a third of the games. That's just, I don't think you should be able to be an all-star missing that much games.
Again, team success is super important. It can and when you look at stats, you can differentiate empty stats and then stats with the meaning or stats with value. And you can see the Suns' performance this year has dipped compared to how they were last year. And the Grizzlies have definitely stepped it up this year. They're a top team in the West, one of the most intimidating teams to go up against in the league. And a teammate of John Morant's, Jaren Jackson Jr., speaking about injuries, I think a lot of people are going to agree with this, but Anthony Davis should have definitely been an all-star if Jaren Jackson Jr. is an all-star.
Well, it can be Jaren Jackson Jr. versus AD. I feel like AD has missed a lot of games too. I don't know how many he's missed exactly. And Jaren Jackson Jr. has been probably, as of now, a DPOY candidate.
Yeah.
He has been putting in those blocks. So he's been putting on the defense along with consistent offense. So it's just more of what you give to a team.
The thing is with AD, like, this kind of goes up against what we were talking about earlier. The Lakers in terms of team success, and you compare the Lakers and the Grizzlies, they're in two completely different spots. The Lakers are fighting for a play-in spot. The Grizzlies are fighting for the top seed in the West. But you look at AD's stats, he's putting up like 27 and 10 a game. Yeah. He's been going off a lot, even though he's come off an injury, he's adapted very well. And I just think with those stats, it's very, very hard to pass up.
That's true. But Jaren Jackson Jr. has been putting in around, 20 and 10-ish?
Around that.
Around that,
his defense. But actually, AD's defense has also been really good, but I think I'd still say that Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defense has been more impactful.
Well, I feel like, impactful is a good word to use there, because I feel like his defense has been good, but if his ankle or knee gets broken every time he goes to defend, he's been reliable when he's healthy. It's just if he can stay healthy, and over the last couple of seasons he hasn't been. And Jaren Jackson Jr., although he's missed a couple of games, he's been very reliable for both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
All right, tonight's game, Grizzlies Raptors. Who do you have?
I'm probably gonna have to go the Raptors here.
Why do you say that?
I mean, based on how they've played over the past month, I'm really liking how everyone's playing. If someone doesn't step up, then someone else will. An example of this is Scotty Barnes, again, referencing the fantasy. One of my friends has him. He was putting up like 6 points, 10 points, pretty consistently here and there. And then now that he's kind of found his role, sometimes it takes players a little bit to adjust, but he's been stepping up. Fred VanVleet's been playing well. Siakam's been playing well. Gary Trent has been playing very well over the past month. And then OG Anunoby, who is just someone that has thrived this year, he's still playing at a good level too.
Yeah, I agree with what you said on the Raptors. I just gotta disagree. I feel like the Grizzlies can take this one. They obviously have the better record, but just more than that, their players have been being consistent, as I said, with Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. It's just if they can find their rhythm in the game. I feel like it's defense. Defense will win this game. I feel like it just depends how... it just depends how they can be on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense has been there. It's just how consistent they can be on defense without letting up big runs and just quick points.
And the Grizzlies, a very electric team. Mm-hmm. I think that's very obvious, but on the fast break, they're really good. On offense and defense, they're really versatile. But even still, I just have that gut feeling that the Raptors can pull this one out. Even though their depth isn't the greatest, I just think that five-person starting lineup that they have right there is very nice.
76ers and Knicks, who do you have?
All right, I'm probably going to be going with the 76ers on this one.
Most of their men are healthy, I believe.
Yeah.
They just out firepower the Knicks.
I don't think Max is back yet, right?
Is he?
I don't think he's back.
Well,
if he is, I'm sorry, but
even with him not being back, it just gives more time for just Harden to just adjust and kill the Knicks.
Yeah, speaking of Harden, he's been doing very well this year. I believe he was an All-Star reserve this year.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and what could potentially be argued is that I'd probably take Harden over Kyrie.
Ooh. I gotta disagree with you on that one. I feel like Kyrie, I think his stats just overbear Harden's. Obviously, they both played on the Nets. Yeah,
they both played on the Nets.
Yeah, and although their roles are different now, I just feel like Kyrie his stats just outdo Harden's, and his consistency has been there. I feel like Harden has been a more explosive player, but I feel like Kyrie, his stats just overpower Harden's.
The thing is with his statistics, James Harden, what not many people see, again, going back to fantasy, if you've seen the trend here, I like to talk about my fantasy.
Yeah.
He's putting up 50 fantasy points a game, and he's putting up like 20, 8 and 10, or around that ballpark. He's really played well with Embiid, which is something that, especially as a former MVP that used to put up 36 points a game, even though you're aging, it's kind of hard to take a backseat to someone like Joel Embiid.
That's true. He has done really well in that role as a 2 option, even sometimes a 3 option, because his playmaking has been great. I'm not saying he's a 3 option, but if he needs to be in certain games, he can pass the rock to people. So it's just, I feel like Harden has been more impactful for his team, but I feel like Kyrie has just been a better player this year.
The thing is with Kyrie, he's been going off lately. He's had a lot of 40-point games, but I think a lot of that probably has to do with Kevin Durant being injured. Like with James Harden, he's been going off regardless of Joel Embiid's presence or absence. He's been very consistent in that regard, and I mean defensively, he's improved over the past couple of years.
It used to be a big hole in his game. He has really improved on it.
Wait, this is a little bit off topic, but do you know if Shaq and Fool still a thing?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm not a big Shaq and a Fool guy. I know JaVale McGee's MVP in that realm, but what does that have to do with anything?
No. Remember James Harden?
Yeah, that's true. His defense.
When he just stood there, Lance Thomas went up for that layup, he didn't even try.
Yeah, his defense has improved. I guess he hasn't been Shaq in a fool in a while. If that's a point you want to make, Cowling, then yeah. Third game, Nuggets at T-Wolves. Who do you have?
I'm probably gonna go with the Nuggets here.
I might think of a T-Wolves upset. I might think, obviously, Jokic is a big factor. He's been amazing, obviously. He's probably the second MVP candidate. Many people have him first. Many people think he can do it again. But I feel like the T-Wolves, I feel like they can get an upset. They've gotten a couple this year already. I feel like they can just do it again. I feel like Anthony Edwards can do his thing. I feel like the players can just... Anthony Edwards is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, I don't know. I don't want to mess up on this again. I'm just
Hold on.
You want me to put it down?
Wait, it's not... Okay, you put... Okay, forget that. If Anthony Edwards is in, I think he can... I think he can get it done. Obviously, there's more to the team than just Anthony Edwards.
And if you guys watched the podcast last week, I told Mark that Jason Tatum was injured.
Yeah.
He watched the game. Okay, yeah, he's back.
Okay, I was right. I was just making sure. Yeah, okay, I was just making sure.
He's been doing good recently.
Yeah.
Off that little research.
So I feel like he can just overpower them. I feel like it's an upset to watch. Fourth and final game, Kings at Pelicans. Who do you have?
I think I got the Kings. The Pelicans losing Zion was big.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't think Ingram's even playing either.
Yeah, Kings. It's kind of the battle of the mediocre teams, really.
Yeah.
The Kings have been way better as of late. Their players have been developing this year before our eyes. I think they're just gonna beat the Pelicans. I don't think it's really gonna be close. If the Pelicans win, then that's our bad. But
a guy like Sabonis, you have an all-star starter caliber player, De'Aaron Fox, a big sleeper, putting up 25 a game, who has thrived this year alongside Domantas Sabonis. They both just seem to mesh with each other really well. De'Aaron Fox, a decent facilitator, very explosive. And then Sabonis complements him really well with a nice jumper. He can roll the basket if he needs to. And his passing, if he wants to dish it out to some of the shooters on that team, like Kevin Huerter. They got a nice little structure going on there.
yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. See you guys next week. Sorry that it's Sunday, not Saturday. We're trying our schedule. It's a bit difficult. We're a bit busy, but we're trying to upload next Saturday, maybe Sunday. We'll upload next weekend for sure around this time. Have a good week.